Hey guys, I'd like to welcome you again here for another CYBL Today pod. And today we got on a pod with us the one and only Adriel Kirkshank. Come on, guys. How's it feel to be on the podcast today with us?
Feels good. I feel like it's been a while since we did one of these, so it feels good to just recap everything at CYBL and the season and the players and everything. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it has been a minute, and so I'm glad that we're able to do this. We're able to kind of lock in a pod here right before the playoffs, because what a season it's been here in the East. It has been exhilarating. Just so many things taking place, so many big moments, so many close games, so many really legacy building performances. As I'm finally starting to see that the legacy here in the East is starting to build. What are some highlights for you that you would say coming into this season that you've seen?
Highlights for me, I'd say, well, first of all, I've seen so much growth, regarding everyone, like all the players, the coaches, reps, everything. CYBL as a whole, I feel like we've grown into a better place, into a better space even. And just seeing how the athletes that we have, they're growing not only in their skills in basketball and how they've learned to move forward in that way, but also just learning more about God, right? Learning more about Jesus and how it's affecting their lives, even in their personal lives. So I feel like that's a big highlight for me. We've also had some great games that I'm sure we're going to talk about later on in the podcast, but yeah, we've had some crazy games, buzzer beater games, and yeah, it's been such a great season so far, honestly.
What a season, man. What a season it has been. I am just again I say this to say, because I want to preface with, we've kind of seen the growth, should I say, in players that have been in the league previously to this point, that have kind of really starting to make a name for themselves, but also really just improving in ways that we want to see, like we're excited to see, from season 1 to now season 3 here in the East. And I'm excited for the momentum, bro, of like what we're going to see today. We're going to talk about, just so everybody knows, we got some things on the dock we're going to talk about today. We're going to recap this season, then we're going to go through some of the big moments that have built legacies here in the Eastern Conference this season. Then we're going to talk about some playoff matchups, and then the All-Star format that, the announcement that was made about a week ago. But we're going to talk more about that, and then we're going to end off with some questions with another focus as well to end it off. And so what I want to start off with today is by talking about the recap of the regular season and some of those highlights. So yeah, man, you were just about to hit on it. So why don't we go right in, starting with your team, the Rockets.
The Rockets, oh man, I'm so proud of those guys, honestly. I remember when we first game we played, everyone was just giving it their best, bringing their best foot forward. And so we gelled together, I feel like, to a certain degree in the first day. And as the season progressed, when we had more practice, when we get to spend more time with each other, not only in the huddles, but let's say before the games, we would talk to each other and get to know how their day was and whatnot. I feel like we've grown so much, as a team. Our defense, our offense have really, really grown. And not only that, but just the individual morale on the team itself, encouraging each other. The sportsmanship on our team has grown so much. And I feel like that's a direct correlation to us being in the number 1 seed at the end of the regular season, right? We've all just grown and adapted and just trusted each other in each game. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's honestly, obviously really, really good to see. Even just some of the players I know on your team that have stepped up this season. I want to shout out Safe. We saw him, he's really taking a step forward, defensively hustling, incredible on the floor. Obviously hits that big shot, the Kawhi Leonard shot. What I mean? The Kawhi Leonard shot literally bounces off the rim, hits the backboard. Bounces, and then drops it. That was at the horn, at the buzzer, and that was incredible to give you guys the win. And obviously we know what that must have hurt for the Tides. But man, that was an incredible moment for sure.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Even Jesse's another one that I've been noticing. The improvements consistently with his mid-range shot. You know what I mean? Like he gets it once he has it open. He's hitting those shots now. So
I agree. Honestly, I feel like on my team, everyone's good. Everyone's good at the game, but it's just the confidence factor, right? Getting that confidence to take that shot, getting the confidence to go in for that layup, right? And I feel like over time we've worked as a team on that confidence so that players like Jesse, because when they get the ball and he can shoot it, he can go in for a layup, and so he's developed that confidence. Even Safe too. Safe has been such a great player this season. I feel like everyone has been great and everyone has improved in whatever way, shape, or form. But I think that
shout out to Gabby too.
Exactly. I was about to say Gabby as well. Same thing. Confidence, right? They put on like that confidence, and she's able to grab rebounds from some of the tallest players in the league, and put it back up to score points or grab the rebound and dish it out. It's just that confidence that I'm seeing on people, and even like Colton too. He's definitely grown in how he approaches the game, as well as his morale and his sportsmanship as well. So it's so cool to see like all the players grow in that way in their different aspects. So cool.
That is cool, man. And legacies are being made. Like, as we know, like Colton is a former MVP, first season MVP 2 seasons ago. Kind of had a lower season statistically last season, but has come back. And I think his focus has changed, and that's also what's making the difference too. Exactly. His focus has really been on how he can be the best intangible player for his team in every aspect of the game. And so that's pretty impressive to watch. And obviously alongside Pierce, that duo of Pierce and Colton is pretty crazy, man. And, you talk about them all because you got Jake Price too. Like, it's a good team.
Jake Price out there too.
It's a really good team you got on the Rockets there. So
it's a good team.
But it is. I want to move now talk about another team that is building momentum in the Sharks, man. Yeah. I'm watching the Sharks before my eyes. Kind of had a little bit of a slow start to begin this season, but they've kind of picked up steam here, and it's kind of looking scary. Considering the fact that they won games without some of their key players there, like Adrian, like Dane, they have been missing. But even in the midst of that, like, they've been having some incredible performances from Seth, from Levi, from Felipe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of those key players kind of stepping in there and really helping to bring this team together. What would you say when you look at the Sharks? What are some things that stand out to you about the Sharks?
I'd say, like, for the Sharks, honestly, they have a really good team. Like, if you look at the players that are on their team, Seth, Lambert, Levi, as you said, Felipe as well, and then Adrian and Dane, like, they're all
Jonathan
good.
too.
Jonathan as well. They're all good players, and I feel like they're finding their groove, right? They're finding their groove in the games that they're playing. Even without some of their key players, they're still finding a way to pull it off, finding a way to work together. And so I feel like they can definitely, like, one thing this season that we all saw, right? Every team can possibly win it all, right? Yeah. So it's just a matter of who brings their A game on that day. So I think the same thing for the Sharks as well. If they bring their A game and they're the only team that brings their A game, right? It's possible that they can come out with it all. Now, mind you, I mean, I'm rooting for my Rockets every day, right? But yeah, I just think that they have a great team. They have a strong core of players that would need to bring their A game in order for them to move forward. So.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think, like, they could be definitely a team that I see them as a defensive stopper team. If you think about it, they have the best rebounder in the conference. They also have the best. One of the best, like, literally leading in steals in Felipe, So, like, they've got a lot defensively. Adrian's an incredible perimeter defender. Yeah. Got traded from the Royals to the Sharks. He's, I miss him, but he's doing this thing. And they got a great squad, man. They got a great squad, and they got some great coaches there, and Alvin and Stefano that are leading the helm for them. And so it's going to be interesting to see kind of where they land in all of this. For me, another team I want to talk about that, well, obviously we talked about the Sharks and we saw how, they're on a 2-game winning streak leading into the playoffs here. Both games, close games, and they beat like good teams. It's not like they beat good teams.
Yeah.
And the way that they played, taking out the Hornets in that game, and previous to that, I'm pretty sure, they took out, it was you or me, it was the Royals or the Rockets, can't remember, it was you. Yeah, it was you. Yeah. And they beat you guys with 5 or 6 players on their team. That is incredible, considering like the drive that they have right now. It's just impeccable to see that coming down the stretch, even with the game on the line, and then going down to the free throw line where Pierce got the and one. That was insane, man.
Yeah,
the and one, literally with like 1 second left on the clock. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he goes to the line, has a chance to send it to overtime, misses it. Yeah. It's crazy, man. I feel like God's just not allowing overtime in the Eastern Conference. Because every time we get close enough for there being overtime, something shifts, man.
Exactly. And even in our last game against the Tides, I feel like if Save didn't hit that shot, overtime, right? But
overtime, yeah.
But yeah, it worked crazy. Out in that way. Crazy. And even in the game against the Sharks, I'm just like, it's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, because we had the opportunity, but it just didn't go in our favor. So it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Another team I'm going to touch on, I'm just going to go all around, just touch on the teams a little bit. The next one is the Tides, man. Tides, to me, when I look at the Tides, they are the dark horse of the league. They're the team that, anybody, I don't care what their record says, you kind of have to put them on notice. They can intimidate any team. They're a well-rounded team. They've lost, except for one game, every game has been lost within 5 points.
Yeah.
Which is, you don't see that. It doesn't happen regularly, but, it has happened. And it's so, obviously, it can be so disheartening to lose those close games. Yeah. But what you can take away from that, if I'm looking at the Tides right now, what I can take away from that is we can beat any team.
Yeah.
Because we're right there. We're right there every single game. Them losing to you through a buzzer beater like that, man, it's absolutely just absurd, bro. It's absurd. But they've had moments like that, opportunities where they had, the last shot to win the game or to send it to overtime, and it just hasn't gone their way.
Yeah.
But I think, again, that matchup between the Sharks and Tides is going to be incredible this playoffs. It is going to be incredible. I think it's going to be, and it's the first matchup of the night. It's literally, it's win or go home. Yeah. Quarterfinals is win or go home. So that game is going to go all the way to the line. And really, at the end of the day, I don't know, man. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Crazy. We're at a place right now where it's hard to tell who's going to win, right? You just have to be there and see what team brings their A game that night, and so that's going to be exactly the case tonight. We'll see what team bring their A game and who's able to take the W tonight. So
that's true. It's going to be impressive, man. I'm excited to see it. I'm looking at Howie as a leader there on the Tides, watching how he's leading that team. Alongside him, you got Liam. You got a lot of rebounders on that team, like Carson Peacock. You got a lot of different pieces that are there. Just really well-rounded, man. A well-rounded team. I think if there's one thing that I would say for the Tides going into the playoffs that they need to tighten up on, their defense has got to be tight, man. Their defense has been a problem for them. It's been kind of their Achilles heel. You know what I mean? They'll be up by 12 points and then let a team back in the game. You know what I mean? And so that would be the one thing I would say for them. But other than that, man, they got it's right there. It's right there. It's anybody's game.
Facts, and I would say they're one of the best shooting team in the league. Honestly, I remember
for sure
when they played against I think it was the Royals played against you guys. They were knocking out shots left, right, and center, especially with Howie leading the charge, just bringing the ball up the field, shoots it, knocks it down. So I feel like if anything, they need to, like you said, work improve their defense. That's something they need to work on. But they also need to be shooting the ball because they're a good team shooting wise. So they have to take advantage of what their strengths and work on their weakness in order to come out with this W.
Agreed. And then obviously the next team I want to talk about right now is the Royals. My team. And, we've got a lot to prove, I think, going into this postseason, man. We start off the season really hot. 4 games in a row we win, but then we lose the next 2 games. You know what I mean? One thing I love about my team, though, is, we fight to the end and we're in it to win it. You know what I mean? Like everybody's involved. And so one thing that I would say though going in is we got something to prove, man. We have a reputation for ourselves that's not very great when it comes to closing out games. When it comes to the big moments, our reputation is really not great in those moments. You know, I go back to talking about, you know, what we did like last postseason against the Rockets, against you guys. You know, a semifinal matchup. We are literally in the driver's seat, up by like, I don't know, 8 points or something like that. Let you guys come on a run at the end of the game and just suck the life out of us. Take that game. But it's been a reoccurring theme. You know, you go back to the OCC, happened to us again against the Strikers, and the OCC we were up. You know what I mean? Then you go back against the Sharks, you know, in the finals that we made it to. So it's like this reoccurring theme. And so I know for the Royals that we have definitely something to redeem ourselves in this postseason. I think we're going to go into the postseason with a different mindset. I really love my leader in Tristan. You know what I mean? He's a growing leader, and he's forming into a leader that can really corral the team around him. I've seen him have moments on the court where he's just coaching the guys in game, where like moments where I can't because I have to call timeout. He'll be coaching the guys in game and like actually getting them to be in a spot and in a position to do certain things. So I love that. Alongside him, you got Edwin, who's also a great ball handler, great distributor, great playmaker. You know, you've got Mustafa, who's great. Literally, like I call him like a stretch four. That's kind of what the position is. He kind of stretches the floor, but he can take it around the basket, grab rebounds. You know, you got Abdul, my defender, man, locked down. Deceivingly long arms, pokes his arms right in there, gets the steals. Nobody even realized it. You know, you got Oba, she hustles. Kyla, who hustles like crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna shout out Giovanni, who's, you know, he gets those shots, man. You know, he's one of my shooters. People don't realize he's like the silent killer from the 3-point line. And David, who also, he's a big boy, man. Like, you know, grabs those boards and the paint dominates. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts when you think about the Royals? And you think about kind of how we've kind of formed to this point that we've gotten to coming into the postseason.
Yeah, I think the Royals, like you guys are at a good place when it comes to like your defense. Your defense is good. Your offense, in interesting leading you guys offensively, it's definitely at a good place. I feel like the team as a whole, even the morale of it, even when they're down, they keep bringing the energy, doing their best, you know, running down the floor and whatnot. So I would say they have a good leadership in yourself, as well as in Tristan, who I've seen that as well. He coaching the players on the floor, telling them where to be, telling them what to do, stuff like that, calling out the screens and stuff like that. So that's amazing. I would say going into the playoff, it would probably be to like their benefit, but one thing that could possibly work out for you guys is to have like the team more involved offensively, because we saw it in what game was that? The game against the Hornets, where Tristan and Kaden were just scoring back and forth, and the majority of the times, a lot of your players would be open. So I feel like involving the team offensively, you guys can get over that hump, especially when it comes to the latter end of the game, where it might be harder to score, or let's say Tristan's tired or something like that. But I do think that it's honestly up to, like, I would say, kind of jumping the gun here, but like playoff predictions would be Royals against the Rockets, right? I feel like that's gonna be, but that's we'll talk about that later. But yeah, the Rockets are a good team. You guys are a well-balanced team all around. I'd say when everyone's there and healthy, you guys are a hard team to beat, and that's the truth.
Yeah. No, I think for sure. And I want to segue that because you touched on the Caden on the Hornets. I want to segue that right into the Hornets, man, who literally, Caden almost broke the record.
Yeah.
He almost broke Aiden Stockton's record of 45 points in a game. He had 41 points last game. I was blown away. 41 points, 9 rebounds, and like, I can't even remember. It was like 5 steals. Some crazy stat line, bro. But like, that was like Aiden level numbers. And I'm like,
I feel like
if we're seeing
playing
that
way. Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
been definitely playing that way since the beginning of the season, like putting up
Mm-hmm.
crazy numbers, like being sort of that anchor for his team. Like
Yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
hard for them to score and play defensively, he would show up and lift his team up in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's definitely been playing some great basketball, especially towards the end of this season.
Yeah, I would agree, man. And like, if I think about it right now, like he is younger than Aiden. Like, obviously, Aiden's retired now,
Mhm.
and so like he has the potential to go on that same trajectory that we saw in the Central Conference for many years, here in the East, and have an opportunity to build a legacy for himself that he might be one of the greatest of all times. He already has one championship under his belt. You know what I mean? And the way he's performing, like it's impressive, man. Like we are. There's a lot of places obviously you can say that with because like it's so new. So I think everything is compared to the Central Conference still, but at the same time, a legacy is being built here in the East that I'm loving. And I'm going to see, but it's not just Caden when we talk about the Hornets. The team is getting involved. You're
Mm-hmm.
starting to see now the whole like what was it? I think Cohen had like 12 points last game. Put on a real show. Jack has been playing great.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all of their supporting cast. Edwin have been playing great. Their whole supporting cast has been like involved in their offense, and it's showing. And Tristan Banhidi, who is not here in this game, but in the previous game, like he also has been showing up. And so I think like their team as a whole, yeah, they're a team that teams got to watch out. They're sitting right in the middle of the standings right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now in the middle of the standings, you've literally got Rockets in first, 4-2. You got Royals second, 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've literally got the Hornets sitting there 3-3, the Sharks 3-3, and the Tides 1-5. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that could take place here
Yeah.
going to the next part of the season. So I want to move into, I guess, some topics when it comes to, when it comes to the legacy talk, which we've been talking about here. So I just want to hit on that with you. And what's being built here in the Eastern Conference, and just talk about, man, what are some of the things that you think when you look at what's happening here in the East? What are some things that are standing out to you when we talk about legacies being built?
Legacies being built. Well, first of all, I would like to just touch on the fact that the parents, like everyone that comes out every Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
night here in the East to support the players that are playing, or whether they're friends or family. I feel like there's a legacy being built in the CYBL culture. The culture is being
Mm-hmm.
instilled in everyone here, and it's so cool to see
Yeah,
how everyone shows up. They're friendly. They talk to each other. They encourage the players. They
love it.
cheer for the players. They even at the halftime they would come down and play basketball with each other, shoot some shots. And so I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the CYBL culture, that legacy that's been so present in the Central Conference, is now being developed here in the East, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so fun to see because you see that
Mm.
everyone's like friendly with each other. We're
Yeah,
all a family here at CYBL, and you
yeah, yeah,
see
yeah.
that in the interactions, whether it's in the stands or out in the hall or on the court. And so that I feel like is such a that's a legacy being built here in Kingston.
Yeah.
When it comes to legacy, I think of the players as well, like you mentioned before, Caden, right, who's been playing, who's been here for a couple terms now, right? So even some of the other
Mm-hmm.
players on the Rockets, Royals, who've been here for a while, right? They
Mm-hmm.
develop and also have that culture instilled within them.
Yeah.
And they're playing their best on the court, putting up crazy numbers like 41 points a game, doing their best, leading their team in that way. And so I feel like moments like that they will forever remember it for as long as they live, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's that legacy
Yeah.
that they've been building, and that they're putting their best foot forward and their whole
Yeah.
selves
Yeah. Yeah.
onto. So it's just so cool to see that. And even like moving forward for the players and athletes that we have that are still young, who can potentially come back
Mm-hmm.
to CYBL again for the next season. They have
Yeah.
that foundation to build on, right? They have the
That's so
foundation
true.
of CYBL and what it means to be a part of that CYBL family,
Mm-hmm.
giving your all, growing not only in skill in basketball, but relationship
Mm-hmm.
with Christ. And so that's been so
Yeah.
amazing to witness.
That's so good, man. And I love that we talk about this because it's what separates us from other leagues, right? Like, We have a lot of fun. We talk about the stats. We compete. It's competitive. It gets intense. But at the end of the day, the culture of this is more than just basketball. And so, we want to make, we're creating a culture that honors God, that brings people closer to God. And I love that part of it too. That's a huge part of the legacy that's being left behind, and the lives that are being changed and lives that are being transformed, and the stories that are being written, not just on the basketball court, but off the basketball court in their lives when you talk about beyond basketball, right? And it's all about being part of the family and being part of the CYBL family and what that means to us. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see the stories that are going to be written and continue to be written, because I don't believe we have any players retiring anytime soon. Like, all the players are in that, in their kind of their prime of CYBL or just starting out. And so it's going to be really, really interesting to see kind of what stories are written by the end of their careers, man. It's going to be really, really interesting. And so with that being said, I'm just going to go right ahead and we're going to go into the playoff preview, bro. I want to talk to you about some of the playoff outlook. So as you know, we just mentioned, we've got first game on the games are all tonight starting off. We got the first game tonight between Sharks and the Tides. Then we've got Hornets and the Royals. Then we've got the Rockets versus whoever wins between the Tides and the Sharks. And so, we talked about some of the team's strengths, but I want to talk about kind of what is the X factor to this playoff season? What is the X factors for each team going into this? And what's really on the line for each team going into this? And what could be and also what are some of the things that we could see being upsets this season as well?
I see. So I'll just start off with the Tides, I guess. The Tides, as we said before, they're a really good team, right? And so for them, I feel like one thing that would be their X factor that would put them over that hump would be to just improve their defense, right? So that their defense would be improved in such a way that because offensively they're a really good team. They can score buckets in Howie and all the other players that they have. But I feel like defensively, they just have to step up their game, and that would be their X factor that would give them that push over. And when I think about the Sharks, I feel like the same thing. Like, they have some really good key players that are able to score basket. That are able to score. Doesn't matter who's guarding them, right? They are that skill, and I feel like for them, their key players need to be their key players, right? They can't be not showing up. Their key players need to show up and score buckets and whatnot, because if not, then it'll be really hard for them to stay in the game and whatnot. And when I think about the Royals as well, I feel like same thing in a sense where their key players need to be exactly that. The key players in scoring, their rebound need to rebound. Their defensive players needs to get some steals and defend without fouling and whatnot. And so I think that with all that being said, the Royals can definitely they just have to play a team game offensively, and I feel like that would be their X factor, because defensively they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. So I think that even like offensively, that would be something that could potentially put them above that hump as well. Now, when I think of the Rockets, I feel like sometimes we have good defense, sometimes we don't have good defense. So I feel like we just need to be consistent in the defense that we play. But not only that, but we need to also make some shots, because I feel like sometimes we have the opportunities, but we would miss it. Whether it's an open layup that'll go right off the backboard and not go in, or like just a shot that doesn't go in. So I feel like we need to be consistent defensively, and offensively would be the key factor for us moving forward. And the Hornets. Yeah, the Hornets, same thing. When it comes to offensively, they need to play a team game, because we know that Caden is able to score a lot of points in the game. We've seen it done time and time again. But you're facing up a team who knows that they can adjust to counteract that. And so when Caden's out of the game, they need to have the team be able to step in where Caden probably wouldn't be able to do as much as he can. right? And I
Yeah.
feel like defensively, same thing. They just need to be consistent because I feel like sometimes they're good defensively, but there are some times where they're not as good. So I think that's also something to be considered for the X Factor.
Oh man, no, I think that's good. I think no, all of those points you make, very good. Like I said, I think there's a lot of storylines that are going to be based on key factors that take place. The Hornets want to repeat, right? So if they want to repeat, and they already know what that, Caden knows what the championship culture looks like. He's got a bunch of new players on his team with him, but Cohen was on that team too that won the championship, and they know like, hey, it's going to take team ball to get through to that next level, repeat and get to that championship again. You look at a team like the Tides who have never been there. They've never been to the mountaintop. They've made it to the semis, but they've never been to the mountaintop. I think that this could be a breakthrough season for them. I genuinely believe that this could be a breakthrough season if they're able to lock in defensively. I think that could actually be the breakthrough that gets them over the hump into a place where they can actually get to the finals for the first time. And then I look at a team like, the Sharks, who have been there 2 seasons ago. They won a championship.
Yeah.
They already know what it is to win a championship. But like this season, slow start, but now the momentum is behind them. And so for them, again, I think it is the key of just making sure, hey, all your pieces are in place. Everybody's locked in. Everybody knows what they're doing. And also, I would add, is making sure that everybody makes smart plays. Sometimes I know that I look at the Sharks and I've seen moments where they've thrown the ball away or made turnovers that could have been avoided and things like that. So I think making smart decisions with the basketball for the Sharks is going to be a key in getting them see if they can get over that hump too. And now obviously I look at the Rockets and I see really what you guys bring to the table. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of certain possessions that are missed or rushed, I think, that actually brings to the missed buckets. And so I think slowing down the game, and actually recognizing the moment and making the right read, the right shot selection, all those things. And for the Royals, I think for us, yeah, it is literally making sure that, hey, as a team, everybody's strengths are utilized. And that for us, if everyone's strengths are utilized when and where they need to be, and we can make also good decisions with the basketball, because it's something we've struggled with as well. I've talked to my team about throughout the season. If we could do that, I think we could see ourselves also come out on top. So that leads me to now talk to you about your predictions for this playoff season, bro. I want to hear your predictions. I wish I wanted to get a third person on this pod so they can give us an outsider's prediction, but we couldn't get that. But what we can do, guys, what we can do to all of you that are watching is give us your predictions. Comment on this and give us your predictions so we can know, hey, what do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to come first, second, third, fourth, and fifth this season? So, yeah, but you can start us out, bro.
It's hard. It's hard, honestly. When I think of, you know what? Let's just start with first place. First place, I believe that my Rockets can come out with the victory this season. I believe that this is it, bro. This is it. I believe
this is
here.
it.
Now is the time.
This is it.
We just need to bring our A game, and it's ours. I believe that 100%. When it comes to second place is a bit difficult because you have the Royals and the Hornets that are similar play styles in how they approach the game, but it's really hard to pick. But honestly, I'd say
you don't think there's any underdogs that could make an upset this season?
I feel like I said it before, but I feel like any team can win the playoffs, right? It's just a matter of who's consistent in bringing their A game that night. I feel like the Tides have a chance, the Shark has a chance, but I feel like when I look at consistency throughout the entire season, I have to go with the Royals coming out number second. And it'd be hard, man. It's really hard. But you know what? I'll say Rockets number 1, Royals number 2, and this might be a hot take, but Sharks number 3.
Okay. Wow.
Sharks in third place, Hornets 4th, and Tides 5th. That's my prediction.
Wow.
for
That's
this
his
season.
predictions. You heard it here first, guys. A-Dog's prediction for you guys today. I want to share with you guys my prediction now because I think that I'm about to blow some stuff out the water today with our prediction. But I've been assessing the tides, okay? I've been assessing the tides. And I think, hot take, really hot take, I think the Tides are going to the finals. I think the Tides are going to upset and upset. Like, I think they're going to take the Sharks out. Then I think they're going to take out the Rockets. And I think they're going to the finals, bro. This is my hot take, okay? My hot take is they're going to the finals. Yeah. No, it's a hot take. Then you can't hold yourself back, eh? Man. No, but that's what I think. And I think after that, looking at Hornets, Royals, I still think that we have the upper hand against the Hornets, and I think we go to the finals. We play the Tides. I think it's going to be a dogfight. And so my non-biased take is I actually have no idea who will win between us and the Tides. I think it's going to be a battle of the ages. I'd like to say that we'd end up number one, but I don't know. I think the Tides could do it, man. I think they have so many pieces, and they've just been through these moments, this tough moments. And I think now is the time for them that, so usually you need a little fire on your back, to take. So, anyways, that's what I think. I say Rockets in third. I think, I think, Hornets in fourth. I think Hornets will lose to the Rockets in fourth. And then I think, Sharks will be in fifth place. That's my prediction. I think that Sharks Tides game, though, is going to be a game for the ages.
It's going
and
to
I think there's going to be
game.
I think there's going to be a heartbreak at the end. That's what I think.
100%. Because, both teams can come out with the W, right? Both teams have key players. They have the mechanisms behind their how they play the game that they can come out with the W. It's just going to be a defining game that would dictate how the rest of the playoff goes, I think.
Yeah, I agree. You guys heard it here first. This is our hot takes on what this playoff predictions will look like. We want to hear yours now. So please share with us. And before we end the pod here, I got two more things I want to talk about, I want to hit on. First thing being our All-Star game format that is changing. So this is going to be exciting. The All-Star rosters are to be released by the end of the week. And so we'll get to see who's on the All-Star team. But if you haven't heard the announcement yet, essentially what is happening is that the All-Star teams will play each other, and in a 12-minute game, the winner of that game will then play the volunteers and coaches in a game for the ages. It'll be a lot of fun. Excited for that one. So if you're in an All-Star, if you become an All-Star, you're gonna be. It's just gonna take the level of competition up a notch heading into that All-Star game. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. So talking about that, man, what are some things you're looking forward to, and who do you think is gonna come out on top?
I'm so looking forward to that game, man. Since we started CYBL in Kingston, one thing that's consistent all the way through is all the players wants to 1v1 the coaches. Every single player, they're like, yo, 1v1 me, or they want to play versus each other. So now we have that opportunity to play to the coaches and volunteers as a team against the players. I think that's going to be so fun. It's going to be such a fun game to watch as well for the parents and everyone in the stands. And I'm looking forward to it 100%. I do believe, unfortunately for the athletes, that the volunteers and the coaches, we are gonna come out with the W. I'm sorry. It's just how the cookie crumbles in this situation, right? And so, but I'm excited to see how they hold up against us, right? How they hold up against not only our basketball IQ, but our skills and everything that we've worked on.
No, I'm excited too, man. I think they'll compete. But I don't think they'll win. I think they'll compete. I think that, it'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun. Definitely be a lot of fun. But hey, who knows what could happen, man? Who knows who could pop off? You know what I mean? They're going to have some, again, it's the All-Star team. So you got to understand, they're going to have some of the best players in the
Yeah.
Eastern Conference playing. So
I believe it, but you and me know what we're capable of.
I know.
We know what we're capable of.
Yeah.
And me, you, Stefano, Alvin, and Mike, and all the other volunteers, I do think that like that's a crazy lineup then and there.
It's a pretty wild
I
lineup,
think they'll try their best, which is what we're looking
They
for.
will.
But not gonna go in their favor, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. So that's just some fun for you guys. I'm going to now rapid fire some questions here before we close out the pod. Okay, so I'm just going to rapid fire some questions here. First question is, which playoff team has the most to prove?
Most to prove, I think the Tides, they have the most to prove. Like we talked about how almost all of their games that they lost have been within 5 points. It's been right there for them, and I think that they have the most to prove because they've come so close to winning a lot of their games that now is their chance to prove, hey, we can do this. We can do this as a team. We can come out with the victory, right? We didn't put up that much of a fight for nothing by fluke. No, we have what it takes to come out with a W. So I think the Tides have the most to prove this season.
That's good. That's good. I would say next question for you: who is the most underrated player heading into the postseason?
Underrated player. This is a tough one.
It's a tough one.
I'd say right now there's a lot of players that comes to mind, but I'd have to land on Seth Lambert. I think that he is extremely underrated in how he, not only his IQ, but how he approaches the game, how he passes the ball around, how he scores his shot. He's really good. He's a good shot selector, and I feel like the attention hasn't been on him as much as it should be for the level of skill that he has. So I feel like he's one of the most underrated player in this season so far.
I agree. Like, I mean, I'm looking at his stats here: 10.5 points a game, 3.5 rebounds. Excuse me, but that doesn't fully represent the kind of player that he is. That is still in the top echelon of players here. Like, that's in the top 10, but like it's still like it doesn't represent kind of the way that he plays. So it's going to be really interesting to see down the stretch here what takes place. And so I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this postseason. I think it's going to be great, bro. It's going to be great. I think we've almost run out of time here, so we're going to have to end the pod for you guys. But I'm excited that we got to do this pod, guys. We're so glad to have you here at the CYBL fam. Hope that you tune in tonight for our CYBL Today. Our CYBL games in the Eastern Conference tonight. It's going to be a great time, guys. All right? Any last words for the people, bro?
Oh man, this playoff is gonna be so intense. It's gonna be so exhilarating. It's gonna be so amazing. And yeah, let's just come out and have fun right in the midst of it all. Let's come out and show our support. Let's come out and be a part of the CYBL family. Let's come out and cheer for everyone that's participating and just have a great time together. It's gonna be intense, but we're gonna have fun. So come out, guys. Watch. Sign in to the YouTube video, log into the YouTube video, and yeah, we're going to have a great time.
Yeah, guys. All right, guys. Well, here on CYBL, I always like to end by literally sharing with us, we're about three things: God, basketball, and mentorship. This league, we have a lot of fun with it, but it's God's league. And this season, what we're talking about is literally, this is life, and we're talking about how we have eternal life through Jesus. So I want to encourage all of you guys, man, put your faith in Jesus, because he wants to have a relationship with you, and he wants to give you an abundant life beyond anything you could ever imagine or hope for. A life on this earth and a life after this earth. So, yeah, guys, that's what we want to share with you. Take care, guys. God bless, and hope you tune in tonight.